Those new restrictions came into effect at midnight last night, and we've been down here since about 5 o'clock this morning. From about 6 a.m, that heavy traffic really started to flow through this checkpoint. Now, this is one of the main two crossings between Wodonga and Albury, and as you mentioned, I've been coming down here for the past 2 weeks, and I have to say that this is the worst that I have seen it during this time so far.
Yeah.
So police were anticipating this though.
Yeah, and so they've prepared for it?
Yeah, look, they've got the 2 lanes open and they're bringing the cars in about groups of 12. Once the cars do get to the checkpoint, the process only takes about 40 seconds. They're getting their permits checked and they're moving on. We have just heard, though, we understand that the traffic going back into Victoria is actually banked all the way back into Wodonga and is now in the main street of Wodonga, High Street. So people looking to come across into Albury this morning do really have a long commute. A Twitter follower just sent me a message with a picture, and it's just bumper to bumper, and they suggested that they should have packed some snacks in their car this morning for their long commute to work.
And Ashley, what have locals been telling you about this process and how it's been handled? Are they accepting that this is just what has to be done in a time of this pandemic, or are they saying it could have been handled more effectively?
I think when the initial closures were put in place, locals were quite accepting and they understood that it needed to happen, but these tighter restrictions have not been received well, it's fair to say. Just to give a bit of perspective, I spoke with an Albury business owner that actually lives in Killara, which is a suburb on the other side of Wodonga in Victoria. Now, that's about 10 kilometres from where I'm standing at the moment, but they now fall out of that new border zone bubble, which is just a 2-kilometre radius. So at the moment, they are not able to leave their home to go and open their business in New South Wales because they can't obtain a local resident permit. So you can understand that there is quite a feeling of frustration here on the border this morning.
Yeah. And is the essential change from now that you can't just go for shopping? Is that the essential difference now?
There is that, but it's also the prior to last night, the radius to be considered a local resident was around 50 kilometres. Now, that's been reduced to 2 kilometres for towns along the Murray River. So we're hearing of suburbs that are literally split into 2. So we spoke with a man that he isn't eligible to get a permit, but the house a few doors down can. So it's making life very difficult. I think the slogan here is 2 cities, 1 community, but that's just not the case at the moment. People aren't able to cross the border to get to work, and even for health reasons at the moment, if you can get those health services or medical supplies in Victoria, then you don't qualify for a permit.